All right, fellas, is it better to be at a pool or a beach to spend your 4th of July?
I tend to say beach because then you have the option of not going in the pool. I like, walking around in the sand too, but I also hate at the end of the day where I got to get all that shit off of me. That's a pain in the dick, especially off my feet. I hate getting my feet dirty. I don't know why, but I still prefer the beach.
Easy choice. It's a pool.
Really?
Well, now elaborate. Go a little. And before you elaborate, let me just introduce you real quick. If you give me a moment here, this is Chris Scheim at Scheim Time here. So one of our partners, I guess, in this hashtag Gooniverse, Dork Gooniverse. I'm gonna get the name down.
Dork Gooniverse.
Yes, that's it. It's a mouthful, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot, or I think we're trying to consolidate. Originally, it was the hashtag Dork Shared Gooniverse,
right?
But shared was just superfluous at this point, so really had to kind of settle it down a little bit.
So, Scheim, thank you very much for being on the show. But a pool guy,
my pleasure. Huge pool guy. It's way easier. You don't have to worry about sand getting everywhere, every crevice of your being. Don't have to worry about it. Pool, I don't have to worry about salt. I can open my eyes underwater pretty easily. Don't have to worry about stings. I don't have to worry about jellyfish in a pool. By the pool, much easier to get a hot dog. Much easier to get a hamburger. Much easier to walk inside somebody's house, go to the bathroom, or walk around their cabana, pee outside, whatever floats your boat.
Well, you can pee in the ocean. No one's gonna care.
But then
go up in the tall grass.
I just think about it. If I'm peeing in the ocean, everybody else is peeing in the ocean, and theoretically, all I'm doing is swimming around and everybody's pissed. So I'd rather sit by a pool.
I think the salt water cancels most of that out. As someone who grew up, on the lovely shores of Cape Cod beaches, I tend to be a beach guy on the 4th of July. And you mentioned the salt water. I think that works for the hair. You get some really slick salt water hair. You probably don't even have to shower for like the next couple of days. You just kind of want to keep that kind of
natural product.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say, I spent time at a pool this 4th of July. Over a beach, we got coronavirus. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that.
What's that?
But yeah, I had friends down at Falmouth. Falmouth's a nice little town on Cape Cod there, and that was jam packed with like sardines. Like even like small, tiny private beaches had like 300 people.
Yeah. I mean, we were there and it wasn't that crazy though, surprisingly. But again, it's on 4th of July, so.
Well, no, but you were at a Wesley Sykes secret spot. Yeah, it's a nice little. Yeah, we don't share that to everybody here. But what we are sharing, yes, exactly. But we are sharing episode 73 of the Change My Mind podcast this week. As I already mentioned, I'm Wesley Sykes, and coming through the other side of the ether is the Trevor Slattery. To my Aldrich Killian, Mr. Nick Fryer.
Wow, it was such a good run of you complimenting me. And now because we have another member of the hashtag Dork Gooniverse, you have to go insult me. The Trevor Slattery, you got to be shitting me.
He's a tremendous actor.
Well, fine, but he's also a putz.
Well, it's also
very much a putz, but it makes sense.
And that, of course, is Chris Scheim of WEI fame and of his Twitch stream fame at Scheim Time. So, of course, we've already introduced him. But say hello to the crowd once again.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
It's and stream team too.
Wes, and of course Fryer. He's here.
Yes, and we're going to be entering phase 2 of our MCU Rewatch vault, and we'll be diving back into 2013's Iron Man 3. But first, friend.
I was curious how Scheim was going to feel about that, by the way, because obviously Dale says it all the time.
I love it. I think it's great.
Biggest thing that came out today, which I'm so pumped about, is that John Constantine, a new John Constantine movie, might be coming to HBO Max. DCU Direct reported this. Now, again, Wes, we've talked about this before. Who can we trust with all these reports? Because shit's just flying around every single day. But, of course, when we see Casey Walsh of Geeks Worldwide retweeting it or entertaining anybody else who's entertaining the idea, we know, okay, there is something behind this. There's reason to believe this could happen. So I see that. I get a little bit excited. Zatanna might be getting a movie too. Again, something going to HBO Max. And Keanu Reeves may be coming back to the project. Look, Keanu's a little bit different than Constantine in the books. Scheim, I don't know how much you've read Constantine or Hellblazer in the past, but I like his iteration of him.
So I follow a little bit. I follow Constantine more so because of the television shows and like is it Matt Ryan? I'm pretty sure is his name. Oddly enough, the English actor. Yeah, exactly. Fantastic quarterback as well. Plays him in like the Arrowverse and in a lot of the animated specials now too. Like Justice League, Dark Apocalypse War. So I follow that Constantine. I haven't read a ton. I've read a little bit. But I also watch like the short run on NBC and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Constantine I know compared to the older iteration.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is a live action. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
But it's going to be on HBO Max. It's not going to be in the theaters.
Apparently.
Just put it out in the theaters, man. What's the deal with this? Why is everything? I don't know. Maybe.
But if you can get, we're not going to get any time soon.
Sick of these stream stuff.
Well,
I want cable. Just give me cable, and I want to pay for the phone that I'm never going to use. Just give me all that stuff. I just don't.
So you're out on YouTube TV then and all their bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't even know what you were talking about. I saw Goo mention that on the news dump there this past week, and I didn't even know that was a thing. So I can get local TV on YouTube TV. Am I this far behind?
Yes, you can, but now they're making it like overly priced. They're just starting to overprice themselves. Where it's like, well, I would have just been better off keeping cable.
$60 a month.
Package.
Are you stunned by this though, Scheim? Honestly.
I mean, that was the whole point of having YouTube TV. So for me, I think a lot of people are going to start giving it back. It doesn't make sense because then if you're adding on things like NBA League Pass or Red Zone or HBO, the prices just keep going up.
Definitely.
Where it's like, I'd be better off just getting a cable and internet package from Verizon again and start over and get it for $99.
I agree with you, but this entire time I looked at it as this is just a short-term thing. This is nice for now. It's not realistic. I'm not stunned that they did this.
If they were smart, they would have continued to increase it, but not $10, $15 at a time. It's $5 here, maybe a couple dollars there, but like you're overpricing yourself now.
I mean, I guess that's fair. It's fair, but I think that this is just what we're going to keep seeing, stupid shit like this, and people keep bumping up their prices. I mean, even Netflix has bumped up their prices in years. They haven't done it a ton to their credit, but it's just a matter of time with most of these services.
It would also be one thing if YouTube did something like what Hulu did, right? Where they package Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus all into one thing for $12. So if you're telling me that YouTube TV is going to go up $15 to $65, but we're throwing in Netflix, it's like, oh, all right, I'm in.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
It makes sense.
Right. Unfortunately, they're not doing that, Scheim. They don't have the foresight like you do.
Nah,
Or you could just get a jailbroken Amazon Fire Stick, and then you can just stream pretty much whatever you want. Although that's, I'm not sure we might get cut from that.
I think that's.
Well, you didn't say that you have that, Wes. So you're fine.
No, I'm just saying hypothetically speaking, someone.
It might be a TOS thing, but we didn't do it, so it's not our fault.
Right,
exactly.
Yeah. It could have even been a gift. Like how I don't even know how to do that sort of thing.
No, I'm not savvy enough to do that.
I don't even know what a Fire Stick is. Right. What are we talking about?
Speaking of savvy, Kanye West apparently going to run for president in 2020, according to his tweets. Although I think recent reports have come out that he hasn't really filed any paperwork yet. I think we're about 3 or 4 months out from the, from the big day in November. So that might be kind of tough to get the campaign trail rolling. But Vanity Fair also had this article about Fox News personality Tucker Carlson. That he may make a run in 2024. I don't know if you guys saw this on Twitter. Like there was this impressionist of Tom Cruise that made this video that came out on the July 4th of that he was going to run for president, and it's just him running in the desert and going through all his list of accomplishments through his movies. And what? All was run Tom won't run.
As qualified as Kanye.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, and then Joe Rogan says The Rock wants The Rock to run for president. So it's kind of brings up this good point in time. Any celebrities that you would want to see run
have a shitload of money.
Yeah,
it's just
anyone that comes to mind.
Oh, is there anybody?
Yeah, give me one of the alcohol investors. Give me Ryan Reynolds. Your George Clooney. Clooney's the guy. Yeah. Clooney might be the guy. He's got that older, salt in the hair, grizzled look now. He has business ventures. He's been around the block. He's got kind of got that edge to him now. I might vote on George Clooney.
He's been a doctor, so he's educated.
Exactly. For years, he played a doctor.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think people now kind of look for a president who's relatable. I think we've kind of seen how some people can relate to the guy who's in office now. Personally, I relate a lot to Charles Barkley, so I'd like to see him run for office. I think he could do a really good job. He's gonna let you know if you're terrible. He
I'm more
lays
of a
it all out there.
Guy,
that can be his VP. I mean, Charles isn't in the greatest shape of his life. Shaq, I think, takes care of himself a little bit better. So there you go.
Shaq 2020.
I'm here for it.
I'm in.
Yeah. Hey, as long as we're not dealing
with them playing golf all the time,
exactly.
That's really good. Yeah.
We don't have to worry about what. And then also, as long as we don't run into like any free throw contests when we're talking about like world politics, then we're fine. We're in a good position. But Scheim, more importantly, regarding Kanye and West. You've been labeled as, I believe, is the songbird of a generation. Is that right?
Yeah,
and
what is he called?
And he calls himself the voice of his generation.
Yeah.
Do you
see him? Many things.
Well, you're right, but that's one thing that it actually legitimately pisses me off that he says that, whereas Scheim has earned that title himself.
I didn't ask for it; it was just given to me.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's a lot different.
Burden to carry.
My question is though, do you see it as like you and Kanye? Is there a rivalry there?
No. So that's the thing. Like, he might be a boomer voice of a generation.
Oh wow.
But like I'm just here. I'm kind of the mix between the boomer world and the zoomer world. Mm-hmm. And so for me, Kanye ain't no competition, man. It's like he can't do what I do. Like, he could do his thing, but it ain't what I do. And I'm gonna keep doing me. So
you guys are in like parallel lanes, maybe.
Exactly. Like, right? Like, we're like, he's Bob Dylan and I'm Bruce Springsteen, right? We're both great at our jobs, but just in two different timelines and two different lanes, man. That's all.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with the analogy. I understand it, but like, those aren't the two people that I would come to. But I don't
know why I chose Bob Dylan. I just wanted to be Bruce Springsteen. That's all I knew.
Okay, well, I had more of a problem with Bruce, but we don't have to worry about that.
Bruce is kind of in your Q zone too, right, Scheim?
Ah, man, me and the Boss, we go way back.
Yeah,
I grew up on the Boss, man.
What else we got, Wes?
Well, apparently this is Scheim's news here. Scheim, you got your little note here you want to add in?
Dadgummit, I do. Because here's the thing. This is like breaking news. Like, this just happened hours ago at this point. Patrick Mahomes has just been given a 10-year, $450 million quarterback to be with the Kansas City Chiefs through the 2031 season. And in my opinion, this is fucking stupid.
Really?
Wow. I hate it. I hate it. 10-year contracts. You can take it, turn it sideways, light it on fire, stick it straight up your bum. I'm done with 10-year contracts. I don't want anything to do with them. Look at Ilya Kovalchuk.
Sure,
look at who Alex Rodriguez.
Albert
You want to know what happens? Albert
Miguel Cabrera.
You want to know what happens at the end of the 10 years? They all suck. Nobody's good anymore. Don't put 10 years on a contract. You want to pay him $45 million a year for 5 years? Be my guest. You want to pay him $10 million a year for 10 years? Sure. That's cheap. I'm not paying a guy $45 million a year for 10 effing years.
Not counting the
you
incentives.
Still got to worry about the guaranteed money and how everything's structured on the back end. Like, I'm sure that it's not a fully 10-year guaranteed contract. Right?
I know the injury guarantee. The injury guarantee is $140 million, which is like the first 3 or 4 seasons. That's easy money.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't know what the actual full guaranteed number is. I don't know if it's that number or more, but regardless, like, there's no way Mahomes agrees to 10 years and $450 million if half of that isn't guaranteed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily gone for 4 years, $160 million with every penny guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I heard there are incentives in there. And have any of those really come out at all? Do you know?
So one last check from Adam Schefter, and
I don't think there were. Well, let me know this, Scheim. If you see anything about incentives, is there an incentive for him to dump his annoying ass girlfriend in there? I'm just curious.
Honestly, there should be. I'd pay him another $100 million.
Yeah,
I'm
think
the Chiefs. I don't want her anywhere near me. She's gonna ruin my brand.
That's kind of what I'm curious about.
She seems a little over the top, too much for me.
Just a little bit,
So this is from Rap Sheet that I'm come up here 7 minutes ago. I'm not sure where you guys put Rap Sheet, but 10-year extension worth $503 million, and he gets $477 million in guarantee mechanisms, and gives the ability for Mahomes to have outs if the guarantee mechanisms aren't exercised. No trade clause.
Jeez, what the?
I don't.
She'll make your head spin.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. Hey, good for him though. You know,
I mean, hey, if I can work the system like that too, I do the same thing. And if I'm Dak Prescott and Deshaun Watson, I'm saying, show me the money.
Yeah, and it just kind of begs the question: is what have we been doing? Not practicing no look passes our whole life. You know, that's
this is very
that's
true.
where we screwed up.
I mean, we can all do it,
right? Yeah.
Successfully is a whole other story, though.
Right.
No. I can throw the ball. I'm like ambidextrous. I can throw the ball, but like hitting a receiver in stride 35 yards down the field, that's where I struggle.
That's where problems. Okay, I can
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know. So Nick, we have Jason Momoa news. He's set to play, as everybody would expect, Frosty the Snowman.
I think Mac from the Mac and Goo program put this best. He said he evolved like a Pokemon from Aquaman to Frosty the Snowman. Perfect. It's so true. I mean, this is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. How is this going to work? Unless it's even if it's an animated movie. I don't like Jason Momoa's voice over Frosty the Snowman. He better be jacked. That's the only thing I can say because it just sounds stupid.
Snowballs from muscles. I love it.
Yeah, like I want to see Frosty eat a couple kids like down like a snowy hill, and like as a joke because they're sliding like penguins, but in reality he's literally hucking children down a hill. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it, but I don't even know where to begin with the questions other than is it animated or live action? And I'm assuming it's live action, right?
I think the real question is, does he shave his head?
Oh. Well, they got good ball caps these days.
Well, like we saw in that commercial. Yeah, in the commercial, he's actually not jacked, and that's actually not his real hair. He's balding already on the top. Yeah, so we'll be fine. Quickly on to the comic book minute. First, biggest bit of news that I saw in all of this. So there have been quite a few creators who have been involved with or accused of Me Too.
They've gotten Me Too.
They've gotten Me Too'd. Okay, thank you. They've gotten Me Too'd. And one of them who got brought up in the course of it is Scott Lobdell, who writes Red Hood, has written him since New 52. There have been other writers in there, but it's mainly been him. And obviously that's horrible. It's a shame that he gets accused of that, but that he would do that, more importantly. But the thing is, he's leaving Red Hood after issue 50. Personally, I'm not sad to see him go because his stuff had kind of been getting stale. Wes, I've been telling you, and I told Keith this when we were on #Dork. It's just he's hit or miss lately, and it's just he's not the same character he was in the New 52. I like him. Don't get me wrong. He's looked his best early on in DC Rebirth, but he's just he's not the edge is kind of gone. He's working for Batman more now, it seems like, and there's the code and all that crap. So a little bit frustrating. Scheim, you don't read Red Hood, right?
No, I read a little bit, but not a lot. I saw the whole basically like costume redesign there at the beginning of Rebirth. Yes, it was switching over to the DC universe. Yes, I like that look, but I liked it too. But then I was kind of I'm not as big a Red Hood guy as Keith maybe.
Right, exactly. And he's the guy who turned me on to him, and I love him. And look, Scott Lobdell is a great writer and everything, but when you're accused of that, and it's awful. So anyways, stuff that's coming out this week, we have DC. I reviewed DC's Dead Planet. I don't know, Scheim, if you've read any of the DC stuff, but this shit's real good.
So I have read a little bit. The one that just finished with where it was kind of focused around Deathstroke and
in Red Hood.
Yeah, exactly. That was quite enjoyable.
Yeah, that was a really good story. I liked that. The art was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but the story itself I loved.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I 100% agree.
So that review is going to be out on Geeks Worldwide this week, as is the review for Batman and the Outsiders 14. We also got the finale for Lois Lane, which, Wes, I remember when I first told you about Lois Lane 1, who is this for? Well, I can tell you this. Doc, the Backcracker, he actually reads this, and he loves it. He thinks it's nice. It's a great detective story and everything. Over in Marvel, we found out we're going to be getting Mandalorian comics. I didn't find out what the releases are this week. We found out we're getting Mandalorian comics, which I'm in on, and Marvel has obtained the rights to Alien and Predator. I don't know if what that means for the comics at all. Never read them.
Can I ask a question? Why?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought.
Batman already did something with both of them. You lose. You can't do it again. What are you doing?
Right.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, I agree. I don't. It's strange. But Moving on to Image Comics, Excellence 8, which, Wes, I've told you I've been trying to catch up on that. I think it's a really good story. You know, obviously smaller publishers and everything, although Image is plenty big enough. Undiscovered Country, Volume 1, the first trade of this is coming out. Scheim, if you haven't read it, it's must-read shit. Scott Snyder, freaking awesome.
You told me about this, and now that the volume is coming out, I will 100% cop this and take a read.
Yeah, I love it. It's great shit. And I've tried. You know, if you decide that you want to read something, Wes,
yeah, you know, I go through spurts sometimes. You know?
Are you in the Mac and Goo boat where you don't really read?
Yeah, that sounds fair. I feel like every good writer doesn't read.
Yeah,
you want to form your own.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't want to be swayed by other people. You know.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what he did read though that he loved was it was Civil War, and Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
We did episodes on that a little bit earlier in the quarantine. For those who want to listen to that episode, outstanding stuff. What else? Also, the first trade for Philadelphia. I don't know much about this. I think there's vampires involved in this, but I think that's gotten a little bit of traction too from Image. And then from Boom, Buffy the Vampire Slayer: Willow issue 1 comes out this week. So I know we get some Buffy fans. I know Mac and Goo, right? They're the big fans of Buffy. Is that right? Or is Davey? I don't know. But
I know female Ryan Davey is a huge Buffy fan.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So Scheim, I'm curious because, you know, we don't get to talk to you often on the show. This is your first time. What are you reading?
So right now I'm actually going back. So I loved Dark Knight's Metal. I'm actually going back and reading all the one-shots for all the evil Bruce Waynes.
Nice.
So like The Drowned and is it like Death Machine and stuff like that. I'm going back and taking a read, and I want to really get into all of their origins. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm.
You got some good shit. My buddy, our buddy Eddie's Toy Box loves Red Death. That's his favorite one. That's the Flash combo. But obviously Batman Who Laughs is that guy's freaking crazy. But
that guy's nuts.
Wes, that wraps up the comic book minute.
All right, back into action here. I feel good. I needed a little breather, hop on the bench real quick, and now I'm feeling good. Okay, close out the fourth quarter. Here we go. On to our main topic. We're going back, as we mentioned at the very top of the hour. The MCU Phase 2, we're reopening that for the Rewatch Vault, and starting with Iron Man 3, which came out in 2013. Nick, with the synopsis, please.
When Tony Stark's world is torn apart by a formidable terrorist called the Mandarin, he starts an odyssey of rebuilding and retribution. Wes, who directed this?
This is directed by Shane Black. I first thought it was Jon Favreau. I had to go back and double check the notes on that, but it was indeed Shane Black, and it's starring Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Guy Pearce, Rebecca Hall, Jon Favreau, Ben Kingsley, Ty Simpkins. Yeah, that sounds good. And it has a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb and a 79-78, pretty even critic audience split in Rotten Tomatoes, with a critic consensus of, with the help of the charismatic lead, some impressive action sequences, and even a few surprises, Iron Man 3 is a witty, entertaining adventure and a strong addition to the Marvel canon, end quote.
Okay.
You want to take some of the money numbers here?
So it hauled in $1.2 billion worldwide, so that's 6th in the MCU overall, correct, Wes?
I believe so.
Then we have that's behind the Black Panther, and then ahead of Captain America: Civil War, one of 9 Marvel movies to pull in $1 billion Marvel Cinematic Universe, and $409 million domestically, 7th behind Captain Marvel. And again, ahead of Captain America: Civil War. And this is all, of course, per Box Office Mojo, who we always use for this stuff. That $1.2 billion is more than both of the other Iron Man movies pulled in combined, which I'm actually kind of surprised by. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and real quick on Box Office Mojo, they've gone to a subscription-based service now, so fuck them. I really hate it because that's where all my good information was from.
Oh, I didn't know that because you got the information for that shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go, steal someone else's information. Yeah,
they do a good job too. That's a bummer. But
too bad.
For those who are new to Change My Mind, we've already done Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, The First Avenger, which featured Goo from the Mac and Goo podcast, and then we did Avengers, which featured Tim Weisberg of Midnight FM, and of course our previous guy in the chair. Yes. But
RIP.
But we're here to talk about Iron Man 3. So, jeez. Wes, should we let Scheim kick things off with his score?
Open up some thoughts here. Let's get your overall score and some opening thoughts.
So my overall score is I went with a 72 out of 100.
Okay.
A C- is basically kind of where I sat myself.
Sure. Yeah.
And overall, the movie to me is mediocre. It's a little fun, but there's a lot of disappointment here. It's easily the worst of all three Iron Men by a significant margin.
Oh my God.
It is also easily in the bottom tier of Marvel movies. Like for me, the only movies that don't pass are The Incredible Hulk and Thor: The Dark World. Mm-hmm. And so realistically, it had to be just slightly better than those. So it sits right there at a nice 7,200 or 72 out of 100. And you can take your nerd becoming the good-looking bad guy, turn it sideways, stick it straight up your bum, and then light yourself on fire, because I'm out on that. The only
He's trying to make that a thing.
This is higher than a 69, which would have been nice. Is House Party Protocol. That's it.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
No,
very deep.
I think a lot of things I tend to agree with you with, but the overall point, I vehemently disagree with you. We'll get into it a little bit later, but Nick, why don't you go next here?
Well, I gave it an 81 out of 100, which puts it just ahead of Iron Man 2, which I was surprised by the end of this, because I did not remember this movie fondly, because the Mandarin, obviously, that whole issue is I mean, this guy's a crazy good villain, and everybody loves him. I know my brother was all excited about the Mandarin going into this movie, and then we get friggin' Slattery, and it's just this schmuck who's been playing a character the entire time. So that was a big disappointment. But, and I mean, that's where you lose a lot here. But in general, yeah, it's a fun movie. I thought the action was good, but my problem also in this, Wes, and I'm surprised where you kind of like have this. This is a movie that you could kind of just take out of the MCU, and it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, what does it mean at the end of it?
So I will say, after every benchmark Avengers movie, there's always a soft landing right after that. That's usually a self-contained story. That's all I'll say with that. But I'll let you finish. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that was my last point. Go ahead.
So I give this an 87 out of 100. I unapologetically love this movie.
That's
this is my favorite Iron Man out of all three. I love this movie when it came out, regardless of the villain twist, which I agree is as a killer here. But I'm able to overlook that, and at this point, I find it just kind of funny. I enjoy the twist for kind of what it was supposed to be, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. But everything up until that twist, I thought the Mandarin was a great villain. I loved the whole theme of using the TV to kind of manipulate everyone and everything like that. So I thought that was kind of great. You get Tony Stark probably at his best, not Iron Man, but Tony Stark, at his best. So he's kind of resembling like a Bruce Wayne type with his detective skills, not using any technology at all. So you kind of see him, that idea of like the Tony the Mechanic come through. You get a little more Pepper Potts in here, which was nice. She didn't really do a whole lot. I thought that her role in this was very great. And the House Party Protocol. Yeah.
Scheim's not impressed by Gwyneth Paltrow at all.
Not even a little bit. Like she can take her goop and go home.
I cannot believe you had this ahead of Iron Man 1, Wes. That's the craziest shit.
Like, I understand people's dislike for Iron Man 2, but the fact you have this ahead of Iron Man 1 doesn't even make sense.
Well, one point, and maybe that 1 point is a little bit out of spite, just the need to go against. But I stand by that point nonetheless.
You know what? I respect that point. That's fair. I can respect it. If it's tie, you don't want to have ties in this, but for those who don't know, Wes has Iron Man 2 at a 78, which is an understandable score in my book. And then Iron Man, he has it at an 86 as opposed to an 87 for Iron Man 3.
I'm right there,
and this is where like I'm correct in saying that Captain America is the main protagonist of the MCU because I'm right. Because guess what? When we do Winter Soldier,
you're not right.
That's going to be ahead of. Let's see. That's going to be ahead of First Avenger, and then Captain America: Civil War will probably be pretty close. But he builds up. He goes in the right direction. Iron Man's all over the place in his solo shit. All over the place.
I will purposely spike all of the Captain America movies just to put you wrong.
You shouldn't have said that out loud. Now everybody's going to know.
So first of all, the first Captain America movie is worse than Iron Man 3. By the way, The first Captain America movie sits at a solid 69. Nice, by the way.
Second of all, look at your score. You don't agree with Scheim. You don't agree with him. Your score shows that.
The first time I watched Captain America: The First Avenger, I fell asleep. It was so boring. It was putrid. I would rather throw up buffalo chicken and burn the inside of my throat than watch Captain America: The First Avenger again.
That's very descriptive. I love that. I love the pose that you're just throwing out there, you know?
It grinds my gears to think that movie is any good, because it's not. It sucks.
Appreciation.
No,
I think it gains appreciation over time.
Maybe you guys have this weird thing going. Wes is out here rating Iron Man 3 at an 87. You almost gave it an effing A-, guys. Guys, an A-. Can we have some sense of dignity here? You gotta have a balanced score system. Like, you're gonna rate that. So you're telling me that a bad villain doesn't subtract more than 15 points?
No, so I think it's a great villain for the better half of the movie.
Is he though?
Yeah, it kind of is. I think it's really, at least for me.
Does he have any impact on anything?
Well, I think, he kills one of the president's men and blows up Happy Hogan.
And Happy Hogan's still alive, and now he's taking care of Spider-Man.
Well, at the time, though, but it was very scary at the time.
Oh, my God. And regardless of that fact, there's a lot of rankings here that I would just, I think the original Thor, funner than this movie.
No. Oh, no. Your
fun factor for the original Thor, through the roof. Do you want to know something?
Shakespeare in the Park? No, thank you.
When I am just out about my day, do you know how many times I quote, "I need something big enough to ride"? That alone puts it higher than this movie.
I don't even know what that's from.
I don't know what that's from either.
Thor walks into the animal shop. He goes, "I need a horse." And the guy goes, "We don't sell those here." And he goes, "Well, I need something big enough to ride."
The one quote that I'll give you from that is, "This body is weak. I need sustenance." That's the one I'll give you.
And throws his mug on the ground.
Yes, I definitely use that one.
Original Thor movie, funner than Iron Man 3.
Okay, but more importantly, Scheim, you see the scores right here, okay? Yep. Captain America, The First Avenger. What is Wes's score there?
86.
What is Iron Man 2? There's more about what you just said, Wes. Iron Man 2, what is Wes's score?
78.
Thank you. So you don't agree with him?
So I misheard you. I thought he said Iron Man 3 on that one, so that was my fault.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, fair enough.
Regardless, Fryer's wrong about Captain America being the main character or whatever this bullshit is. And Wes needs to figure himself out with how he's ranking these movies, because Iron Man 3, not good.
Iron Man 3 is great, and I don't appreciate allowing you onto our podcast and just slandering. I don't know if you noticed. I'm in the left-hand corner today.
You are. I've been making a point to point at you. So my thing is your podcast is called Change My Mind. So whether I have to do that viciously or like kill you with kindness, I got to find out which one works best. So I got to change your mind.
You got to break through me, coach.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't say
no. I operate mostly out of spite, so very rarely is my mind changed. So,
you know what? I respect that about you. That's a point for Wes.
There we go. So hey, did I maybe, dare I say, change your mind?
No, not even a little bit.
Shit. Okay. So let's go to the categories here. Let's
time for the awards. Wes first.
Yes.
We have the On Your Left award. I apologize.
No, that works. So the On Your Left award, Nick, this was your first nomination here.
Yes, for most rewatchable scene. And I mean, I think it's just because I watched the movie first and I took down notes first. House Party Protocol. It's the easiest one. I actually, when I was doing stuff for Screen Rant early last year, I had it as part of my top 10 MCU fights, and this is pre-Captain Marvel, so obviously no Endgame. This moment is just outstanding, and we don't know what's coming necessarily right away. And I just thought nonstop action, craziness, all the blasters and shit. So that's, I think, easily the top one.
Yeah, there's no debate here. This is really it. I love it. It really redeemed everything that went wrong with the villain twist at the end, I thought. So this was another reason why it's great. I think this could be like a top 5 pre-Captain Marvel fight scene, in my opinion, just maybe going off the top of my head. But I love it. You get all the different types of suits out there. You get the Igor one that's kind of holding up the whole oil rig. It's good stuff. I love it.
Yeah, this is without question the best moment of the movie.
Yeah.
And this is the one thing that is redeemable in this movie is House Party Protocol. How House Party Protocol ends is a whole nother story. But the House Party Protocol in general is the one absolutely redeemable part of this movie.
The other one that I had written down was Tony breaking out of Killian's dungeon or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I mean, that with the one glove and the boot, like that shit looks like it'd be very complicated. And I just thought the way that came out pretty good. But did you guys have any other nominees?
Yeah, so I had Tony breaking into the Mandarin's Miami mansion there. So that again is him using all that low tech and kind of going back to the idea of Tony the mechanic. Then you also get the reveal of the Mandarin twist when he breaks in there. But he's going through with all the whores and the hookers in the house and everything they're getting through, and it's kind of a fun scene. And then again, it's showing that Tony is more than just the Iron Man suit. So I love that moment.
So I actually don't mind that scene. I think that is one of the better scenes in the movie is him getting into the mansion pre-Mandarin twist. Mm-hmm. For me, the Mandarin twist, like it kind of almost like blurs out that scene just because in my opinion, it was so bad. I know it's grown on you. It hasn't on me. But I do agree that him kind of like whipping up these crazy trinkets just to break his way into the mansion is actually kind of cool.
See, I love that. See, this is a little bit of an agreement here, maybe an olive branch. Let's see if we can move forward, take another step. So, how about linking up all the airplane passengers in the air during the the barrel of monkeys scene with Jarvis kind of helping out the whole time? I thought that was very cool.
It's fine.
No, okay. that's not. It's like it's fun. It's fun times.
For most rewatchable scene.
Well, it's up there. It's a nominee. We talk through this here. This is what we do on this podcast.
Yeah, I think we have our nominees. It's fine.
It's fine.
And you find out that you get
unmemorable
by the Mack truck, and you find out he's doing the drone of the Mach 42 there.
That was a cool twist. That one surprised me a little bit. I'll give you that.
Sure.
But it's also we're talking about rewatch. We're not just talking about. Don't get me wrong. I remembered that scene for sure. But it's just like okay.
Listen, I think we're all in agreement. The House Party Protocol takes the cake on this one. But
easy.
What's the point of doing the exercise if we're just going to give it to the first thing?
What's the point of doing the exercise if me not telling you how I feel? Okay, it's all about our emotions, Wes.
Move on to the next nominee and see what happens.
And I'll say a little honorable mention. Any scene involving Tony and Harley Keener. I thought that kid was great. Great chemistry. Kid is really good. Jurassic World, he ends up coming back into play in Avengers Endgame. This does mean something.
I cannot explain to you how much I dislike Harley Keener.
Really?
3 reasons. 1, I hate every child actor that isn't Kevin McAllister. Okay, that's a fact. You can fact check me on that.
Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What about X-23 and Logan?
Okay, fair.
Thank you.
The Big Daddy kids. The Sprouse?
The Sprouse twins? No.
Yeah.
I like them better.
He wipes his own ass.
I like Cole better now because he's in Riverdale.
So I don't they actually have acting careers?
One of them does. The other one does not.
For them.
Harley Keener, they're basically just ripping off a Boy Meets World character, Harley Keener. So out on that name.
Isn't that Adam Scott?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, who plays the badass? Yeah.
Who can fact check me on that one?
Probably.
But regardless, there's my reasons right there.
I think that's even better. So it's paying homage to a great show.
Is it though? They didn't do it on purpose.
Well,
if they were doing it on purpose, they would have turned him into like a bully that's beating up Tony Stark. That was like Tony Stark's bully in high school or something.
He did have sweet hair.
I didn't hate
Coming
Harley.
from a guy who doesn't have great hair, I resent that.
Well, okay, fair enough. You may have a greater appreciation of it than others.
I appreciate good hair, but his I resent. So
okay, fair enough.
Well, we're in agreement. House Party Protocol.
That's it, huh? That's what we got.
What's next, Wes?
The Quantum Realm Award for unanswerable questions here. So the first one. How did Tony, Pepper, and Maya Hansen not get blown to pieces when that missile blew up Tony's mansion, like in the first, 10 or 15 minutes of the movie?
Just out of nowhere, gone. Yep, nothing.
I don't know. Direct projectile, like right in Ground Zero.
Was it maybe not like a? Down. Was it maybe not like an explosive projectile, more like a shrapnel-filled projectile?
Does
that make more sense
to me?
Yeah, it seemed pretty explosive. I'm just trying to help it out.
Yeah, no, I see. We would need to do a little bit more research, and maybe that comes into.
I'm not very familiar with bombs, unfortunately.
Right. That's good to know. We should get that on the record. You know, I agree on that one.
I don't know much about bombs either. Maybe if we had Hammer Tech on, like they would probably be very helpful. And Wes, you were a big fan of him, right?
Yeah, I was a big fan of. Anything Sam Rockwell does, great guy.
Fair enough. What else we got for nominees?
Should we be surprised that a nerd, this is kind of speaking to Scheim's point earlier, was picked on early in life and harbored all of that frustration for years and years and used it as fuel to create a plot of international terrorism?
No.
Not at all.
Pretty answerable, I guess.
Yeah, pretty answerable.
Okay.
Yes. Happens in every movie.
But yeah, pretty bad cliche, right? That's that's kind of lame. Yes. Would you rather have the Infinity Gauntlet or the 10 Rings? Ooh. Essentially do the same thing. Each one wields different powers, and then when you have them all together,
I just don't think the 10 rings are quite as powerful. Just like, I think the Reality Stone alone is just kind of something that kind of blows the 10 rings away. But the 10 rings would have been super dope to have on a villain against Iron Man. Just saying.
Yes, it would have. Yes, well, maybe we'll get it in Shang-Chi at least. I don't know how they're going to do all that crap.
Yeah, I think I might go for the 10 rings here. You know, I'm more of a style over substance guy. So something that really just accessorize with. I feel like the Gauntlet might be a little too clunky. It'd be tough to carry around. Is it can I get Touch ID on my phone and all that stuff?
But sometimes, Wes, you got to sacrifice looks for comfort. That's what it comes down to. That's why sometimes I throw on the bandana. You just got to do it. Mix it up once in a while.
There we go. I'm not sure if that's looks or comfort there, but that's okay.
It's a take.
It's something.
It's something, exactly.
Released in May, but taking place around Christmas. Is this a Christmas movie?
Of course it is.
Absolutely not. God, if this is a Christmas movie, shoot me.
Presents, Scheim. They're Christmas presents. What are you talking about? Just like Die Hard.
Oh God, it's a whole different topic. I can't. I refuse to answer this anymore.
So I agree. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. I
Thank you, Wes.
think that this is not a Christmas movie.
Thank you, Wes.
It lacks the Christmas spirit, which I think is the essential element of all Christmas movies.
I agree.
And it's much like pornography. I can't find it, but I know it when I see it.
It lacks a Christmas spirit, but it's all about growth and getting better and helping others and doing all that shit. That's Christmas. Yeah, that is Christmas. That's my Christmas. My Christmas isn't just about presents and Frosty the Snowman. You know what? You can go hang out with friggin' Jason Momoa and Frosty the Snowman. That can be your Christmas movie, Scheim.
Christmas is about family and togetherness. It's not about growth. Growth is about like other shit.
Have you heard of a Christmas Carol? Have you heard of a Christmas Carol?
All right, go get stuck to a telephone pole.
That's not a Christmas. Whatever. Christmas story, you dumbass.
Whatever.
Jesus.
All right, go hang out with the ghost of Christmas past. Whatever.
All right. Now this is actually an unanswerable question.
Well, what the
why did Happy think he could pull off a mullet at any point in his life? I forgot he had this at the start of the movie. We see him come out and he's got a goat and a mullet, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? Another unanswerable question. Maybe we can't answer it. Whose goatee is better, Scheim's or Jon Favreau's in this movie?
Oh, so I'm going to go with Scheim here. I'm going to butter up the guests and see if
I appreciate that.
I can change his mind a little bit later. Maybe he can change my mind. I don't know.
I appreciate that.
Second date sort of thing.
That's how you really get me going, is buttering me up, so you're off to the right start. And I think the reason he tried to pull off a mullet is because I forget exactly what year this was, but it wasn't like late 80s?
99.
99. Ooh, that might be a little late for a mullet. Unless Billy Ray Cyrus still had one, don't be having a mullet. That's kind of my take on that.
I think it's a bold look. I approve of it. The guy's confident in himself and he's ready to rock it. It's a guy. His guy's name's Happy, for Christ's sake.
Party in the front, or business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah, I think more big guys should wear mullets. Actually, I think it's a good look for him.
I think there are a lot of guys that do. I think they all are the ones that go to NASCAR races. Pretty much. I could be mistaken.
Well,
that's fair.
Yeah,
this is 2020. We shouldn't generalize a group of people like that.
You know what? You're right. I'm an asshole. That's a very good point. And I just want everybody to know that I didn't put my goatee versus Happy's goatee. I did Shiz and Scheim's because I feel like they're more on a similar playing field where I'm on like an upper echelon when it comes to my.
I think it's different. You're on an upper echelon of bad goatees. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
You and John Travolta next to each other. Whereas it's like when they're talking about real nice goatees, it's like me and like when Brad Pitt had a goatee and Happy Hogan, like that kind of echelon.
Yeah, Happy Hogan and Brad Pitt definitely in the same sentence. Yes. Both American heartthrobs. Yeah.
I mean, Happy Hogan
Scheim,
was getting with Peter Parker's mom or Aunt May.
Yeah.
So I mean, Marissa Tomei is a beautiful woman.
Right. This ain't no Sally Fields, right?
Nope.
This is Marissa Tomei here. So
well, at least you know Jon Favreau's packing heat. That's really what it comes down to.
Wow.
But
That's true.
another one, and this is really digging deep, Wes, but I know you're going to appreciate this one as much as anybody. Corey Antonio Hawkins was in the movie as like an intelligence monitor. You know, one of those people like, sir, something happened, and like that's his role in this. He is he's the guy who said Air Force One is compromised. He plays Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Correct.
So my question to you is, does this mean Dr. Dre has actually been a secret government operative this entire time?
You know the answer to this question.
It's yes.
100% yes.
I'm all in on this theory.
Yes.
I'm all in on this.
We already know that the NWA was a CIA psyop, right, to help promote gun violence. We've already discussed this before, haven't we? Like, so of course, like he's affiliated with the government.
It's been a while since we did a Stay Woke of the Week, so it's you know.
Well, just drop a little nugget, and you do your own research. How about that one? You know,
okay.
That's all I can do.
Fine, I'll look it up. Next, so actually, we got to figure out. I mean, I think we proved that the Dr. Dre one is an answerable question. The Happy Hogan, the mullet one does that one win? What do you guys vote for?
See, I still think it's the blown to pieces.
Yeah, I'm with Wes here. I think it's the blown to pieces one.
Actually, good point. I stand. You guys have changed my mind. I'm with you on that. Unanimous vote again. We are now on the America's Ass Award. Yes. What aged the best, Wes? Why don't you start us off?
Okay, so first of all, I think we should get a sounder for the future for any time like one of us agrees that we changed each other's mind. You know, ding, 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 something like that. Just throw that out there.
I got this pretty background now. I'm not a magician.
I know, this is fantastic. I'm just saying something to chew on. Tony the Mechanic, the fight scene in the Tennessee bar, you know, you got him building his own suit. So I just love the idea of Tony the Mechanic and not Iron Man himself being a major player in this. So I thought that aged very well upon rewatch.
That's a good one. Okay. I'm going to throw this one out there. Stephanie Sostak. I don't know how you say her name. Zostek. That's the girl. That's like the
extremist girl. She was like the
girl.
cop.
Thank you. Yes. Holy shit, she's friggin' hot. So I'm all in on Stephanie. So I think she aged the best.
Wait. Time the F out. You think she's super, super hot?
She's absolutely hot. Yeah.
Dude, she plays like a mom on like an ABC family drama.
Oh.
Has she aged? Okay, I'm talking about her character here. Mm-mm. Has she aged poorly in real life? I didn't look that.
You want to know who aged great? Maya, good-looking lady.
Oh, Rebecca Hall.
Yes.
Yeah, from The Town.
She was also in The Prestige. She's in The Town.
Yeah.
Right, she's in The Town. I forgot.
That's who aged great, Fryer.
Okay. Man.
She seems a little too wholesome for me. I really like the look of Gwyneth Paltrow in this one. I think she really stepped up her cardio game and just everything here. The whole thing with the sports bra and the yoga pants at the end. Good look for her. Not usually a bangs guy, but I think Gwyneth pulls it off.
You know what, gentlemen? We have stumbled upon a possible poll question. I will throw this out tomorrow or tonight at some point. We got to figure out who are people taking? Rebecca Hall, Stephanie Sostek, or Gwyneth Paltrow in Iron Man 3? Okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow's got too much of the crazy for me. I'm going to stick with Rebecca Hall.
Well, but I'm thinking more of like Pepper Potts.
She's still got a bit of the crazy. She's very controlling. I like to be very loosey-goosey. I think Rebecca Hall would float that boat.
Oh, okay.
She might a little bit, although she became, part of a terrorist organization. But at the same time, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, but who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
What science hasn't?
When you look at all three of them, they actually all kind of had their own version of crazy in this movie. Because even Pepper went off the rails a little bit at the end. Unneeded to, though. Wes, what else you got for nominees?
Okay, so how about the TMZ-like reporter asking Tony, so when is someone going to just kill this guy? I thought that was very much like TMZ. I thought that aged very well.
You know what? That's a good point. It is very much like TMZ, but it also still pisses me off just as much to this day. It's freaking annoying, but it's realistic. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it works out well. Harley Keener, I know the jury might be out on that, but I thought he aged pretty well. And actually saying that sentence sounds kind of rough, so maybe I'll take that one back.
Save that one for later.
Yeah,
Doc can clip that.
One. How about Tony telling Peter in Homecoming that if he's nothing without the suit, he shouldn't have it? Well, I'll tell you what, friends, he learned that in this movie.
Yes, this is true. That's a fair point.
I'll give you. That is a point I will give you, Wes.
Yeah, wow. Thank you. So I'll take that one there. Happy Hogan. I just loved him badgering everybody with the passes and just like being dumb with FaceTime and just having this like weird obsession with Downton Abbey. And then like checking out the nurse the moment he wakes up out of a coma is just awesome. Like that's fantastic.
Happy gets my vote. I think Happy overall ages the best. I think he ages even better into the he crafts himself into a character that fits great in the Spider-Man universe to kind of play off the young Peter Parker. I know Tony's his mentor, but I prefer Happy here.
Yes. I like Happy. I can go with that. You changed my mind. How was that? Because I was a big Tony the Mechanic guy.
I personally am. I'm personally a Tony the Mechanic guy is where I'm going to go. The other option that I had here is the end credit scene with Banner. I actually really liked that a lot. I thought it was funny, and it made. I totally forgot that Tony started out narrating the movie after going back and watching this on Disney Plus, and then at the end, like, who the fuck is he talking to the entire time? And then end credit. Oh, it's Bruce Banner. Okay, but that's not really a good one. I think Tony the Mechanic is the one. But you guys voted on friggin' Happy. That's cool. Whatever. And
I think the end credit scene makes it another appearance in our next category, which is the Mirror Match Villain Award for what aged the worst. And number 2 here is the end credit scene with Banner, because what a complete waste of time that was.
Okay.
I have zero opinion on this end credit scene. I neither liked it nor disliked it. So I'm pulling a Glenn Ordway here, and I'm riding the fence.
Nice. I won't say that. I'll say something else here. That might have been another. Wow, I'm sorry.
Yes.
How about what aged the worst? Whitewashing the Mandarin.
Not great.
Not great.
And like the way that they did it too, just making it like a blundering British guy.
On top of whitewashing the Mandarin, what about fake Mandarin?
Yep.
In my opinion, it's like the easy winner. This is me. I very much hate it, especially because you're gonna reuse it in Shang-Chi now. If you wanted to use it down the road, then don't do it here. Do it a different way. Do somebody else.
This is one of the few instances I think we saw where the MCU did not show any foresight whatsoever, because Mandarin was, like we said earlier, awesome character. You got to use him. Like, okay, the whitewashing is bad, absolutely, but if you're not going to make him the badass character that he is, that makes it slightly less frustrating, but you just shouldn't have him in there in the first place if you're not going to make him accurate to the comics and make him badass. Like, there's no point outside of that. So, I mean, look, at the end of it, I think we know where we're going to go with the vote. But another one for me, which was very uncomfortable, was the Aldrich Killian giving Pepper a kiss goodbye after their business meeting. Are we in Europe? Is that acceptable? I don't know. I wasn't sure how well they knew each other.
I think it's a rich people thing.
Is it? I wouldn't know.
I think
Wes would know better than us.
Wow, that's it would. So how about Tony picking up the mini screwdriver at the end? It's kind of like the rat at the end of The Departed. Like, it's way too on the nose of a thing. Like, look at this. He can do it on his own because he's the mechanic. Even though I've been harping on how much I love that was like pushed me over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, another thing that I'm neither here nor there on.
That's a fair point. Oh, you know what? I have one more that I want to save. I want to save for the very last, Wes. But Tony blowing up his Iron Man suits. Scheim alluded to this earlier. It's like the dumbest, most expensive grand gesture in the history of all mankind. What the fuck are you doing? And then, later, hey, I'm still Iron Man. You know, it doesn't change anything. No, you kind of need the suit to be Iron Man. So you need all that tech to be Iron Man.
No, it's the brain, man. It's all up here. It's all up here.
Okay, but you use the brain to make weapons and turn it into other shit. You can't just, hey, I have a brain. You're not Professor Xavier or Jean Grey. You can't just use your brain like that.
That's true. But he ends up building the other Iron Man suits that are better anyway.
Well, I know, but you waste all that time for the other ones. You could have done House Party Protocol again. You know, who knows?
So, okay, suggestion time. We take whitewashing the Mandarin, mix it in the pot with faking the Mandarin, and poof, that's what aged the worst. And
then in theory, we un-whitewash the Mandarin by doing that, because we're kind of mixing it all in together. That's a clear-cut winner there.
I have one last one I need to get out there. I have one last one. Okay,
yes.
Wes, you always ask me, where are all the other heroes when something big global type thing is going on? Scheim, would you say this was kind of a big deal? This whole thing with the Mandarin?
Was it?
Like the terrorist attacks and everything? You didn't think it was a big deal?
Okay, I guess so. The Mandarin videos, okay, that makes sense. That part was a big deal.
Right. So my question to you, Wes, is I think this is based on the way you approach things usually, especially when it's DC shit. Where are all the other heroes?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on this one.
Just America's ass.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is just more of a. Seems like it's a personal affront to Tony Stark more than anything.
Spin zone.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could say because I agree with the other way. That's it.
But I know you have the Iron Patriot as the suit as a nominee, West. But I agree with you guys. The Mandarin is the worst part.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. These are
some of our favorites here. Yeah. What does it all mean award for the top Easter eggs and ties to the MCU? We have our end credit scene of Tony talking to the therapist, which we already mentioned. Then we have our Stan Lee cameo, which is putting up a 10 while judging a beauty contest in Tennessee. Good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff for me.
Oh yeah, great.
How about Harley Keener? He comes back into play during Avengers Endgame. Yeah, big Harley Keener fan. Scheim.
Still out. Haven't changed his mind.
It out.
Well, what if I told you that he's lined up to play Iron Lad in the Young Avengers reportedly? Would you like me to repeat that one time, or did you get that?
I didn't catch it.
That's why I'm laughing.
Sure. Okay. No, I got you.
All right.
How about the song playing at the Y2K party in the flashback is Eiffel 65's Blue.
Here we go. Yeah, exactly. You know.
Well, I thought we were going to a karaoke moment. If you're ready.
No. I don't know the entire song, and I'm just gonna mutter a bunch of words that I'm not sure what they are.
Yeah. Okay. So here's a question.
It's a great jam.
Is it blue? If I was green, I would die.
No, I think it's I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba da dabba dee.
So okay,
just a bunch of sound effects.
Because it sounds like that.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I've come to the realization that you can make a lot of things sound something that they absolutely aren't. And so that's why I think a lot of it's just mumbo jumbo.
You just got to look at King of Staten Island. Boom.
You just got to look good or sound good while you're doing it, and everybody believes you.
Oh, you got what? Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. You got Bathroom on the Right, Bad Moon Rising, that sort of thing, right?
Yep.
Letter B, the letter B, all that good stuff, right? Yeah, I got you.
Let's see what else, Wes. We got the Ho Yinsen appearance.
Yes. Yeah, that was great. That was nice, right? Also in that same scene, I would say Iron Man does. The whole Iron Man story does the best job of tying in loose ends and like small things throughout the whole Iron Man story arc.
I'd have to look at. They do a good job, definitely. I'd have to really think about that though and see what.
Because you even go back to like Spider-Man: Far From Home. Like everyone that was on Mysterio's side was something that like Tony Stark screwed over.
This is true. This is true. Yep. That's leading the clubhouse right now. What else is there? We got 3 more of these? Yeah.
We got the Mandarin of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a massive deviation from a pretty racist comics version. He was pretty problematic in that one. So there we go with that. And actually, I thought that was kind of interesting. The Tale of the 10 Rings, and the Mandarin himself is like more or less a Green Lantern story with an alien ship crashing in China. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, was it? I thought the rings were bestowed upon him by like a dragon.
It could have been. Maybe my my internet sleuthing gone awry here.
Or maybe I'm just confusing him with Iron Fist. Who knows?
I feel like both kind of sounds right. Maybe we'll just combine them. We'll whitewash them. No,
but it was a dragon from space. Boom.
There it is.
I do wonder if they did the whitewashing out of fear of what happened with the comic book character and how he wouldn't necessarily translate well. But it's just that you just take what was there. You take the stuff that was good. And then you make an adjustment like you do with everything else because people didn't love friggin' Iron Man and Tony Stark before the MCU. And guess what? You went and made him kick ass. So whitewashing's not the friggin' answer. But they've learned, hopefully, and move on.
So we mentioned James Rhodes never donned the Iron Patriot armor until after this movie came out. So instead, it was Norman Osborn, which I thought was kind of lame. That was why I had it on what aged the worst, the Iron Patriot suit, because I would love to see some sort of like what was the Dark Avengers or something like that, or what was the Iron Patriot part?
I think it was the Dark Avengers. That sounds right to me.
Or like I don't know. I forget.
I don't know. Either way.
Okay, but there's that. That's interesting, right?
The
other one's kind of dumb. We can just
Dark Avengers. Yeah, it was Dark Avengers. You were right about that.
Good,
okay.
Nice.
I don't know. Like as much as I shit on the Stan Lee one, like knowing he's the Watcher later on because this is a rewatch, not a first watch. I'm always interested in where he is and things, but I'm probably going to give it to the the Ho Yinsen appearance because it is a nice little tie-in at the end of it all.
Yeah, I'm in with Ho Yinsen as well.
Yeah. Okay. So then we got the Shield Internet Sleuth Award, Wes, for internet research on the movie. What do you got for us? This is all you.
Yes. So let me first put on my my internet scoopy hat here real quick. Do some sleuthing. Let's get dirty. In 2010, Walt Disney Studios agreed to pay Paramount at least $115 million for the worldwide distribution rights to Iron Man 3. This is one of those Sony deals where Paramount actually had the rights, and they had to pay up money. Yes, I thought that was kind of interesting.
That is a good find.
Shane Black described his take on the film as being, quote, two men in iron, or not being two men in iron suits fighting each other, and more like a Tom Clancy thriller with Iron Man fighting real-world type villains. Drew Pierce, who was the co-writer, added that they would avert magic in space, with Iron Man 3 being, quote, a techno-thriller set in a more real world than even the Avengers. This is probably some fart sniffing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that the first one you listed off is going to be a tough one to beat. That's a decent one, though. It's a decent description. Like, it's a kind of Tom Clancy-esque. I can see that.
So what? Shane Black is calling this, comparing it to Predator, which is a movie he was in.
Yeah,
that's a fair point, too.
I like that, yeah. The film's plot is influenced primarily by Extremis, the 2005 to 2006 Iron Man comic storyline, written by Warren Ellis.
Yeah, that one I'm not voting for because Warren Ellis has also been Me Too. So take him out of this. Yes.
Comic book world is reeling right now. Jeez,
I told you it's bad.
Yeah, who would have guessed that all these guys who just drew like sexually seductive superheroes for all these years
I never would
a skewed view on the universe.
I never would have guessed that. It's really strange. It's unsettling.
Drew Pierce suggested that the Mandarin was a fake, and Black agreed by going with making him an actor, which in turn Pierce detailed as an overacting British stage performer. Black explained, who would be foolish enough to declare that this is an international terrorist? If you're smart, whatever regime you're part of, you put a puppet committee and remain your house. It's kind of like an interesting quote. Doesn't really feel all that.
It makes sense, but just because it's so much disrespect to what the character can be. That's why I'm out on it.
Yeah, this is like the writers trying to punch up a script and like add their signature piece to it too much. Instead of just like staying true to the source material.
Yeah, I think this last one might be where I end up going.
This one here?
I can't give an award to the Mandarin bullshit that we just gave an award for being shitty. So,
Maya Hansen and not Aldrich Killian was supposed to be the villainous puppet master at the end, but Marvel execs nixed it, saying they were concerned with apparent merchandising lossing that would come with having a female villain. And the roles of several other major female characters were also made smaller in the final film compared to earlier drafts. And this kind of goes back to our Avengers rewatch, where we were talking about Robert Downey Jr. Going to Joss Whedon and like Feige and everyone saying that Gwyneth Paltrow needs to have a bigger role, or he wouldn't have returned.
Yeah, I think this is a huge misstep by Marvel. Like, Maya Hansen being the puppet master would have been an awesome twist, because then it wouldn't have been the little nerd boy who couldn't get his way and got bullied all through school. It would have been a great twist. She would have been a great villain. I would have liked that much better than what they gave me.
Absolutely. I understand merchandise stuff, but honestly, you look at Aldrich Killian, but you look at Aldrich Killian, I have zero
merchandising him. Yeah. What are you making action figures of Aldrich Killian?
Ooh, super cool. I want the guy with the cane and the glasses and the freaky teeth. Yeah, get me that action figure. No,
you're making action figures of Iron Man. I guess you'll make one of the Mandarin, but if you're making one of the Mandarin, then it doesn't matter who the puppet master is.
Exactly.
So it can be whoever you want. And so that's why I think it's just a missed opportunity.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. This gets my vote.
This is complete shit too, because you get now you see the big push right with Captain Marvel and Gamora and all these strong female leads coming through. It's like
when they had the opportunity ahead of them.
Right, you could have done that so long ago. So I think that's real horseshit.
I think it's even cooler to do it with the villains. But I think this is the best find. I mean, this is the most interesting detail in all of this. So it's
I was pretty surprised to find that there. So I'll take the Scoop B hat off for a moment, and we'll get right back to it.
Okay, well, you can slide on your Edith glasses for the Edith Award for who won the movie. Scheim, would you like to lead us off for this one? You have a nominee.
Yeah, so my nominee here is actually the Iron Man suits, all of them, because House Party Protocol is the most memorable part of this movie. It's the best part, and they all do different stuff. They're all unique. They're all awesome, and it's like Iron Man suits. I am always in to see a new Iron Man suit, no matter what movie it is, no matter who wears it. I'm always game to see a new suit, and this movie, you got a bunch of them.
Damn it, Scheim, you're right. I love it. This was I don't know why I didn't think of this. I'm on board 100%. I'm bending the knee right now against my will.
I
love it.
But Wes, you had a nominee for this award. I'm curious.
Well, a nominee. It was a weak nominee. I figured just throw it out there, like spaghetti. See what sticks here. Harley Keener, kind of. No one. Cute kid comes back into play.
I respect you changing your mind.
Yes, I'm gonna pass on this one. I threw Tony in there because again, I just didn't know
the only other logical. The only other logical nominee is Tony, and it wouldn't even be Iron Man Tony. It would be like Wes has been saying, the mechanic Tony.
Right, and that's why I put
the
Tony.
Version of Tony that would win here if he was to win. But I just think the things he made are better than he was.
Yeah, yes. And like we said, that's the biggest takeaway from this movie anyway, is the suit scene in the House Party Protocol. So 100% there.
I'm with you guys 1,000%. Great call. So the suits, good shit, Scheim. I think you're the first person who's not been Wes Rai that's nominated something that had a winner. So you beat Goo, you beat Mac, you beat Tim.
Scheim claps in the chat, baby.
That's right. I love it when you do that on Twitch. I love that shit.
Yeah, shout out to my emote artists. Those are awesome.
Yeah, those are. You have an artist that. Oh wow.
Yeah. Somebody hooked me up with an artist, and I actually had those made. So.
Jeez, you guys know some really talented people, because Billy D's another one too, who's just his shit is ridiculous.
Awesome.
Outstanding. We'll hit on Billy D a little bit later, but we got the Sad Bucky Barnes Award for who lost this movie, Wes.
I had Iron Patriot. When Rhodey goes back to War Machine, that was actually you, but Iron Patriot kind of has a tough look there. Yeah. You want to elaborate on that any further?
Well, I mean, just Rhodey, he goes back to War Machine later on. It's like, of course, Iron Patriot's the biggest loser in all this, and he's just a bum. I'm not a fan of it. And then when you know that it's Norman Osborn in the comics, why are we having him as a hero in this sense? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I wrote down comic book fans on this. I
had comic book fans there, just didn't change the writing. And I think this kind of goes similar to what Scheim was about to say, but really disappointing for people who are maybe looking forward to the Mandarin or different parts of the comic book, kind of speaking towards Iron Patriot here. So comic book fans, I think they were probably really let down by this.
And so my nominee here is, I looked at it like this. I said, what was the biggest winner? The suits. So that means the biggest loser is literally everyone else, because whether it's Tony or Maya or Aldrich or Paltrow or the idiot kid, or it's everybody that isn't named Happy Hogan loses in this movie, because it's the trash movie. You don't need it. To me, it's like a useless piece of some little bit of enjoyment.
No, so I had fun. I had fun throughout this whole movie. I thought it was a great time. I was scared a little bit. I cried a little bit. I laughed a little bit. That's, according to Jimmy V, that's a full day. And I got that in a book.
Definitely didn't cry. Definitely didn't scream, except maybe at the screen when the Mandarin was the twist. So I would say literally everybody lost here, including Marvel, especially after reading Wes's big time scoop that Maya was originally supposed to be the puppet master. The people at Marvel lost. Kevin Feige loses.
Yeah,
this movie. They win because they get a shit ton of money, but they lose because they could have made something even better. And I understand that they gave us a 24 movie franchise that ended with the most climactic thing you could have possibly ever asked for, but it could have been another step along the way that could have been better.
I'm going to go as far to say that Wes is actually the loser in this one, because at the end of it all, Wes, if this was Captain America with this movie, you know what you would rank it as? A 70, something like that. Because what does it mean in the grand scheme of things? And that is what this whole show, that is if we had 4 pillars of the Change My Mind podcast, that would be one of them that you installed personally. What does this movie mean at the end of it all?
What does it mean? It means 1.2 billion buckos, my friend. And that can't be wrong. That's a whole lot of shekels.
Captain Marvel made that much movie, and we can all agree it was a fine movie.
It was fine. I really enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed that. I gave it a pretty
enjoyed
high
it,
grade.
but it wasn't like a breakout movie. You know what I mean?
I didn't like it. I don't like it. So,
Like,
he doesn't
every
like
Marvel
Wonder Woman,
movie
by
after
the
a
way.
certain what?
He doesn't like Wonder Woman either.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
movie.
I didn't say it was boring. That's him. That wasn't me. Those are not my words. But what I was going to say is Marvel is at the point where this was like the first of a run of movies where it doesn't matter what the movie is, they're making $1 billion.
Yeah.
So like I think the money number to me doesn't matter.
Well, no, so I think coming up after this is like Thor: The Dark World.
Oh God!
Thor: The Dark World was before this.
No.
Really?
I don't believe so. I think it comes up with
Thor: The Dark World was 20. Oh no, because Thor was 2011. Thor: The Dark World was 2013. Yeah, so it was the same year. It was just later in the year. Okay.
Yes. Oh, but either way, we got that coming. That's our next review. Who are we gonna? What soul are we gonna torture?
Have fun with that.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's throw this one to Keith. Huh? Like,
Yeah.
Keith would like that.
But you know what? I think at the end of it all, Scheim, you make points about literally everyone, but still, I can't say Marvel was the loser at the end of it all. Maybe creatively they were, but at the same time, they still made a lot of money. West is right. I'm going to go with comic book fans at the end of this. As much as it's a fun movie and it didn't ruin the MCU, I think that's a fair point. So I'm going to go with you on that one.
Yep.
Beautiful. Nice. It's all about coming together at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
It's
about the friends you made along the way.
Yeah, and just don't eat the cookie. The J. Jonah Jameson Award for the best performance by a side character. Harley. We got to be Harley Keener.
We got Harley, and then there's Maya, Happy, Trevor Slattery, and then Jarvis.
These are some good. This is a tough category. I'm going to say
it is a tough one.
The argument I'm going to make for Trevor Slattery is that he actually does a great job of playing two different roles here. Now, whether you like him or not, I mean, I think he plays both. Like, you hate him when he's like the bumbling buffoon British guy, but you're also kind of feared for him when he's actually playing it, and you're kind of seeing him like crushing the fortune cookies and all that stuff with the propaganda videos. Like I thought that's a pretty good performance by Ben Kingsley, I would say, by the actor.
The way they wrote him was good, but the character itself was a pain in the dick.
Yeah, like the character itself was a piece of trash, but the way he acted it, the way he performed it, I give him that credit that he played the role that was given to him very well.
He did his job.
Yep,
it's not his fault. They didn't write up.
It's not exactly. It's not his fault that the writing around him was trash.
Honestly, guys, I'm voting for Harley in this one. I enjoyed him. I thought he was. I didn't like. I liked him.
I thought we were getting closer here, and now you just want to separate yourself from me. And
there is no way, after your bullshit about my goatee, that we're never getting close. No, we are not friends.
You know what? You're probably right. I could never be friends with somebody who owns 3 pairs of cowboy boots. So
that's 3 of them. Wow,
3.
I didn't know that.
I told you that before.
I also couldn't. I also don't know if I could be friends with a loser who had a 408 opponent's batting average in college. So.
Oh man, that
was 1 year. 1 year.
Now,
unbelievable.
I'm going to stick up for Nick here. I would like you guys can't talk any shit, man. Like I'm a JV All-Star at best. You know?
Oh yeah.
There's no way that I can go into the Big Ten and go up against the Wolverine baseball team there.
Oh no shot. But that's why I make fun of him, because I know I couldn't do it. It was like that guy. Did you see that guy on Twitter who was making fun of some UFC fighter?
I saw.
And he's like, "Why don't you come say that to my face?" He goes, "Because I'm a scared idiot. I'm just gonna say it to you on Twitter." And the guy's like, "Okay, fine,
fair enough." Yeah.
You know what, Wes? So Scheim saying that is one thing. It's not like he goes and says to all of Boston that I gave the entire company coronavirus. I can look past what Scheim said when he says I suck at baseball. That's fine. But when someone says that I gave everybody COVID, what was
who said that?
I said what I say is all in good jest. Whoever said that is just being mean.
Yeah, I know.
Who said he gave everyone COVID?
No, I don't know. Is that dickhead? Is it Keefe? Is that his name? Rich Keefe? Yeah. I think it was him. Yeah. He was.
Yikes.
He might have been the one. I legit, when I heard that, I called in. I thought I was behind on the stream. I called in like the first 10 minutes of the show. I actually talked to Scheim. I didn't realize what time it was. I felt so bad, but yeah. But he said I gave everybody COVID. Anyway, moving on. Who are you guys voting for the J. Jonah Jameson Award?
So it's between Harley and Happy, and I got to ride with the kid here.
My vote's for Happy. Okay. Or Trevor Slattery. I'm fine with either of those.
Okay.
Well, Harley's the winner, though.
And Harley's taking it down. Okay, so the I am.
You're lucky I have nothing to throw right now.
And you're on the other side of the computer.
I have a marker.
I'm so ready for this one, Wes.
So the best quote award, the I Am Inevitable award. So Tony Stark, my first nomination is, "My name is Tony Stark, and I'm not afraid of you. I know you're a coward, so I've just decided that you died, pal." Pretty good. That's with the TMZ reporter. I kind of like that.
It was good. Like, again, first time seeing it, yeah, it's cool. It's badass, especially for a kid, badass. But I'm more for yucks, for sure. I mean, unless
sure.
And personally, when Maya asked Tony if that's normal, referring to the big bunny in his living room, and he's in the middle of an argument, and he goes, "It's a bunny. Relax about it." I didn't remember that shit at all. I love that.
The whole banter with the whole bit with the bunny, I love. It goes back and forth. You see him and Pepper going back and forth and like side conversations about it. I love that. That's kind of a running joke through it all. Big fan of the big bunny.
That's a great one. Now, Scheim, do you want to help me out with this one?
No, I don't. Can we skip that one and go to the next one? Because the next one I actually really like.
This one's gold. One. Tony's. Okay. Go ahead. Why don't you, what's that one?
So the one I like is when Tony is breaking out of Aldrich's basically prison for him. The henchman goes, "Honestly, I hate working here. They're all so weird," and just gives up. Like that. That is the kind of comedy I'm here for.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. I love that one. Yeah.
Last two. This is right before House Party Protocol really goes into full effect. What are you waiting for? It's Christmas. Take him to church. Like, that's perfect Tony Stark, right?
Yeah, RDJ is delivering that line with perfection. That probably marks the movie again because it marks, like you just said, the start of the House Party Protocol. This is my nomination for it. This is probably what I'll be choosing with. Although what you're about to say is really funny, and I'm surprised they leaked it.
Upon rewatch, my jaw dropped. I had to rewind this 3 times, like, then put on subtitles. Like, did he say what I think he just said? So Harley is telling Tony Stark about the fact that his dad left, 6 years ago or whatever. His mom's at the diner or whatever. So he says, I guess Dad won scratchers because that was 6 years ago. Tony goes, which happens. Dads leave. No need to be a pussy about it.
Yeah.
Tony Stark said this in a Disney movie. Holy shit. So, that to me, I mean, it's okay. We're doing best quote. I'm probably going, "It's a bunny. Relax about it." Like, I got a good chuckle out of that one.
I'm okay with that one. I side with that one. Okay. I'm out on everything Harley. I thought that one, it was like such a dumb joke. He's like, "Yeah, I guess you won on scratchers because that was 60 years ago." I'm like, "Oh, cool, dude." I think the Tony quote saying, "Which happens, Dad leaves, no need to be a pussy about it." That part, good. Tony Stark, great character. Harley Kiner, sad and dumb and stupid.
So the quote, I just put that in there because it's about the setup. The quote is actually Tony's response. So do you feel that Tony's response is worthy of your vote?
Tony's response is worthy of my vote.
Okay, so I go there. Scheim goes there. I have the bunny quote. Wes, where do you go?
I'm telling you, waiting for Christmas. Take him to church.
Okay, so that's the one that we're not going to agree on. Perfect. Very fitting. Yeah.
Wait.
That's a good one. All right, we got the quarantine corner. Since we have a guest on, we will let him lead this off. Scheim, what's been going on with you in the midst of the pandemic?
With all this quarantine going on, I've been streaming up a storm, twitch.tv/ScheimTime. If you like video games, come hang out. We have some laughs, stuff like that. Like I told Fry, I have some cool little emotes. Also, I watch way too much Food Network, whether it's like Beat Bobby Flay or Burgers Brew and Q or Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives or Top Chef. I know that's technically not Food Network, but regardless, I watch so much cooking programming. It is getting ridiculous.
Now, have you ever seen the Vice show with Action Bronson? Fuck, that's delicious.
I have not seen. I saw it on Hulu the other day. Might have to go check it out.
Give that a watch. I think it's his cousin, Big Body Bess.
Yeah,
is just worth the price of admission. He's great.
Okay.
Definitely give that a fun time.
Are you a big cook, Scheim, or are you just a big food fan?
So I've started over the last year or so to really get into cooking. And so I'm trying new things. But I also just love food. I'm a fat guy. I've always loved food. There's very few foods on the planet that I dislike. So it's very easy for me to just try anything you put in front of me. And so that's why watching people make all this delicious food is awesome.
I think one of the next phases of the Dork Shared Gooniverse should include the installment of Chef Scheim. I would totally watch that. Just a 5-minute segment.
That we might have to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a way to work in the #fork Gooniverse at this point, right? Some sort of like offshoot of that, right?
I'm gonna throw something else because that's genius.
Yeah, there it is. That's
God.
the hashtag. Well, the hashtag fork is a real thing. I think Mac and Goo does that. I don't want to take total control for that. Yeah.
I don't even know.
I'll have to get front of the house Brian Goo Antonelli. It'll be Chef Scheim and delivery guy Mac, and we'll get together. We'll put together something. I'll whip it up. We'll evaluate it, get a nice taste test in there, really give it a good ranking on how many tines of the fork it was worth.
I love that. I think that's great. That's a good three-pronged approach.
My God.
Yeah.
I'm so in that this is not even funny.
Well, so I wanted to do something like that. So my signature dish is a recipe passed down to me from my grandmother. It's German potato salad, and it is tremendously delicious. If you like bacon, you like potatoes, you'd like my German potato salad.
Let me ask you, can I interrupt real quick? Is it a mayonnaise base or an olive oil base?
It's vinegar based.
Vinegar. Okay, I can do that. The mayonnaise I can't do.
So I'm the same way. I'm very much not a big mayonnaise guy. And so with this, it's all vinegar based. It's just it's the best. It's my favorite food on the planet. It has been since I was a kid. And so now that I'm able to make it, it requires very special ingredients, a very special process. Nice. I burn my hands every time I make it, but it's well worth it every time.
That's beautiful.
I tried to do a step-by-step on Instagram one time. I'm not very good at Instagram, so that's probably the issue.
I see that. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, I think we should do that though. Maybe share some family recipes before and after sort of thing.
Hell yeah.
Maybe host when this quarantine ends. We have a live stream cooking show,
and then we mix it up. We get
Keith Bobby Flay.
Yeah, we get Keith and Davey over. They're going to be our drink makers. Keith's already shown his propensity for alcoholic beverages. Mm-hmm. Davey is hanging out with Wild Bill Soda. I mean, I think we're set up for the perfect Food Network adjacent.
Yeah. We just.
I don't understand Keith's thing with the Long Island iced teas. Those are absolutely disgusting. That's I'm usually with Keith on most things. Not that one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
To the low road.
I don't know what we would have as our cooking thing, and I don't know what PCP would do. I have no clue what they got going on. Maybe they could just throw a bunch of PCP in their food and say, "Hey, it's fun." What do you got going on in the quarantine corner, Wes?
So Tom Segura, that's what's been going on in my life. I've never watched him, although Netflix has urged me to watch all 10 of his Netflix specials. So I finally went through and watched a bunch of them. I think he's absolutely hysterical. Very dry, kind of sarcastic, very calm presence. Think he's very funny, very, very funny. And I also watched Patriots Day on the 4th of July morning. Very good movie. I actually teared up a little bit, despite Mark Wahlberg, who I absolutely hate.
Was it accurate outside of Mark Wahlberg?
No, but I just think I haven't really, I never really go out and seek out watching that stuff. And it was very graphic and just kind of it's just kind of brought up some stuff. All right, back off.
Of course,
understandable.
Hey, was Jules around when you saw it? Because you don't cry in front of her.
Okay. It was 4 a.m. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I just put this on.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, never cries, Scheim. Never cries.
No, teared up. Got a frog in my throat. But
I'm a big crier.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just maybe it's the Irish in me. Just stuff it down with some brown.
There you go.
But I did watch The Town, which is also on Netflix, which ties into Rebecca Hall. Very nice, or Maya Jensen, crossover.
Great
there.
Movie. Love that movie.
I think The Town might be my favorite Boston movie.
I think we'll have to do an episode on that sometime.
Good Will Hunting is obviously up there, but The Town,
I think The Town it may not be critically the best, but it is probably my favorite.
Most rewatchable.
Awesome. Yeah.
And give me Ben Affleck over Mark Wahlberg as a Boston ambassador any day of the week.
100%.
All day, every day.
100%.
Couldn't agree more.
Mark Wahlberg's a fraud.
Yeah, I'm not a big Wahlberg fan, but The Town
you don't
will always
leave
have a
Patriots Super Bowl game halfway through.
Yeah,
and he was in the owner's suite, right? He was in Kraft's suite. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's awful.
And he wears a hat like a dork.
You should. Yeah, which is apparently a bad thing now, even though we're part of the Dork Shared Gooniverse. But whatever, who cares?
It's not a hashtag.
I should have used a different word.
That's right, hashtag Dork. Yeah, you're fine, Scheim. You're good. But you know what? The Town will always hold a special place in my heart because that came out fall of freshman year of college for me and for Scheim, for that matter, because we graduated the same year and everything.
Wait, we did?
Yeah, you graduated in 2010 or 2009.
No, I graduated in 2010. Yes.
Yes, we're the same age, Scheim. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I thought you were a year ahead of me. But
okay, gotcha. But either way, that came out when I was in Chicago at the time.
Yeah.
So that comes out, we all go and see it and shit, and then they're like, "Oh my god, Boston is so cool!" Like, and I'm an hour south of Boston. Like, it wasn't even like close to the city, but they're all like, "Oh, you're from Boston!" Like, and that was so helpful for me getting to know people like in the athlete community and everything at Northwestern. It was a huge icebreaker. So I will always appreciate that one. I've watched a fuck ton of shit since our last movie. In addition to Iron Man 3, I watched Apostle on Netflix, which is a horror movie, pretty freaky, and I watched it at night kind of, so I was like sitting with me a little longer than I would have liked. So I was like, what can I watch to get my mind off of this? The Fox and the Hound. Perfect. I loved that movie as a kid. And then I watched that 100, not on the same night though. 101 Dalmatians, Lady and the Tramp, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and all of these movies. I still love them. A lot of shit I had forgotten, but I will actually funny thing. Jason Alexander was in Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't know if you guys knew that.
He's one of the gargoyles.
I had no idea. I never knew that.
Nick, are you lonely?
You know what? Not so much now.
Because when I see like these old school Disney movies going on, like it gets me wondering. Like
I'm a single guy. I got a lot of time on my hands, and other than getting ready for the COD tournament that Backcracker's got going on, that Scheim and I are both in, and I believe Mac is in, and Davey is in. Yes.
Hold on. I have the list of people right here.
Okay.
Looking at it just a moment ago.
Your brother's in it, but
my brother is in it. Yes, as well.
Yeah, but we got this COD tournament going with Backcracker. Scheim, let me know when you know when Dave.
So we got me, Mac, good old Billy D is in it.
Yeah,
actually, I think that might be a different Billy D.
That's the other Billy D.
That might be the other Billy D. Backcracker, Fryer's gonna be in it. Davey is in it. Actually,
nice.
So there you go.
Okay, so that'll be fun. We'll all be streaming that. Somebody one of the pairs has to be streaming. It's a double.
I'm doing whatever I can to get Fryer as my teammate.
Well, tell Backcracker because I'm the worst.
I know you are, and I'm the third best. So like numbers wise, it adds up. So that would be great content.
That would be outstanding. So if you're watching the stream right now, which for those who, again, we didn't say this at the top of the show, but if you're listening to the show now, we've gone back to streaming. We had taken a break after we weren't at WBSM anymore. We're back to doing it now. We have our own channel on YouTube. But if you're watching the stream now, Doc is doing his draft or whatever, or picking them out of a hat for the tournament and everything. So you can look for that as well. I don't know the dates, but Scheim and I and everybody else will be tweeting out when we're playing, but that's coming out. Yep. This week. Scheim, what's on tap for Stream Team this week over on Twitch?
So Stream Team is an unreleased topic. We are not disclosing our topics ahead of time. We like to pepper you with new and searing information in the gaming world. I will be joined once again by Wrangle Von Dangle, Rizzle Von Drizzle, all hail the King of Ginger Ale, Mr. Ryan Davey of the Hashtag Dork Podcast. Wednesday, 9 p.m. over on twitch.tv/Scheim Time. We are also in the process of setting up a YouTube channel so that for those of you who don't watch it on time, you can go back, catch it there.
Nice. Okay, and Wes, what are you most excited about that we got coming out in the rest of the Hashtag Dork Shared universe?
I like the idea of best comic book characters not in a movie, although, I'll probably say that the Change My Mind boys did it better, kind of like the Simpsons did everything better, but who knows? Who am I to judge?
Dork's got that coming out.
Do we know the Mac v. Goo topic? Do we know that ahead of time?
I think that's why I don't know if you guys saw the poll they put out, but it was like,
what year is better?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's what it is.
Let's take a look at what won, and maybe
I think 2000.
I think it was 2000, 1990, 1988, and then I can't remember what the fourth one.
Okay, so we have 1988, 1990, 1994, and 2000, and the winner by just over or nearly 4% of the vote was 1994.
Oh, wow, good year though.
Great year.
O.J. Simpson murder.
Yeah, wasn't that was the Forrest Gump year and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah, and I believe that was also there was a documentary June 11th, 94, right? Wasn't there 30 for 30?
Might have been.
With the Knicks, didn't Jack Nicklaus win his last Masters, and then the Knicks were playing in the NBA Finals, and the Rangers won.
Okay, that makes sense.
Stanley Cup, and it was all within a 3-day period. I think the Olympic Games were starting in Atlanta, or something. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I thought you were gonna say make a Jesus reference again, like you did on Dork. I
could. I mean, if we got a few minutes.
No,
90 minutes.
We just got to make sure. The PCP, the Pop Culture Pile Driver, also has their Summer Blockbusters episode coming out this week. Wes and I actually have done that in the past, where I learned what a blockbuster actually was. I did not know the definition of it, Scheim. I was a little embarrassed.
Literally,
there's a Nightwing villain / Batman villain called Blockbuster, and you didn't know what it was?
I understand that. I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't know the definition. I apologize. I know the term.
Don't you write things? Shouldn't you have some sort of lexicon that you can pull from? Clearly.
I just know a blockbuster means a hit movie. That's it. I don't know. And I guess even then I didn't. I don't know. So as everybody knows, that's all on iTunes, Stitcher. I assume those other guys are all on Stitcher, Spotify as well. You can find us on Facebook on the #DorkSharedGooniverse. Yes. You can find Scheim on Twitch at
Scheim Time at twitch.tv /Scheim Time. I'm also on Twitter at Scheim Time. And if you happen to be looking for me on Instagram, some asshat took Scheim Time already, and his last name isn't even Scheim. So I'm Scheim Time 12 on the Instagrams.
That is bullshit. And of course, you can find Wes at Wesley Sykes _, and then I'm Fry _guy 1, and at Change My Mind Pod. Wes, do you know what we're talking about next week, or is it TBD?
No, it's TBD. My favorite. Let's all get it.
Until then.
And before we get out of here, one last thing I have to say. One last thing. I'm sorry to cut the it dawned on me, and I needed to get this out there for the masses. Wesley, if you ever need a funny screen name or anything like that, you have to do Sykes. That's the wrong number.
Wait, what's that from?
It's from the internet skit where he's like, I'm not a rapper. And he rap battles these kids. He goes, boom, bow. Bada bop bop pow, and everybody freaks out, and he beats this kid. It's just some dude. They call him Super Hot Fire. He goes and he's like 2.5 men. I watched that. Sweet dollar tea from McDonald's. I drink that.
Oh my God! I can't believe he just interrupted you for the closing.
Good. I appreciate that. I feel dirty now. I feel like I have to take a shower. I just feel so unclean that this didn't come off right.
Just after the podcast is over, go to YouTube. You type in Super Hot Fire. You watch it. You'll thank me later.
It's better be fucking worth it. That's what
let's try that again, Wes. 3, 2, 1. So until next week, Wes.
Same bad time, same bad place.